This is James, and it is March 21st, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is BTC USDT. This is Bitcoin on the Binance Exchange, and this is my 4-hour chart, so every single bar represents 4 hours. Basically, first of all, this is not investment advice. Second of all, I like to go over the overall trend. You can see that we've been in a negative downtrend, and we broke out of that downtrend right here. It's on a faint gray line that you probably can't see, but we used that downtrend as a springboard, tried to break out, and unfortunately failed miserably. So the question is now, do we have a higher low here? So that's what I posed in my last video. So far, it looks like we've had quite a steep run. And if you've watched my videos, anytime there's a steep run, there's typically a recovery to that steep run, or there's a consolidation to that steep run in order to recapture energy. So everything I do is based off energy between buyers and sellers. That's all price action is. It's just the action between buyers and sellers. And literally that's as simple as my analysis gets. All right. So anyways, that's the overall picture. The overall picture too is the volatility that we had back here is just getting a little less muted here, which is fine because, you know, if you look at like this, the NASDAQ, for example, I think some people take that, like when I make that comment wrong, as in like I'm talking about the demise of Bitcoin. This is just a smoothing out of Bitcoin. If you see in the cryptocurrency market, because Bitcoin is the giant that dictates everything. So if you look at other markets, you look at the NASDAQ. Imagine if the NASDAQ right now was going like this, the stock market. What do you think would happen? People would go freaking crazy. So this is not necessarily a bad sign, although a large portion of the market cap was dwindling away. It looks like it's starting to come back. So that's fine, you know. So don't take it as a negative comment. This is just the overall picture of the market. It doesn't necessarily mean the nail is in the coffin for the cryptocurrency market, and I never said that. So, but anyway, so I just want everyone just to understand, like, everything I talk about is just about the price action. There's nothing else. I don't care about the news, what else is going on out there in the world. Everything is just what this shows, all right? This is what people are buying and selling Bitcoin for. And that's it. At the end of the day, this is all that matters. At the end of the day, it's just the money in your account and how much you made, how much you lost. That's it, all right? So that's as basic as I keep my analysis. But anyways, I don't want to digress onto that. So what you see here, if you're a new viewer, is I have a negative downtrend set, okay? Where I draw this pink line is the former downtrend line right here, okay? And you can see we've assumed another negative trend set. So the question is now, have we put in a higher low, like I've been calling for a while, and are we now going to start a new bull market in Bitcoin that is going to be more elongated and smoother? Obviously, it's not going to rise that high, but you know, maybe it's just something like this. Maybe it's just nice and smooth, the way you see in the stock market, the way you see in the fiat market, what the market needs. You know, to that way it builds integrity of this market, and we start to attract bigger and bigger investors. And also on top of that, you'll start to see ETFs and etc. come out based on Bitcoin. So far there's GBTC that trades on the over-the-counter market, but if more things like that start coming out and they start treating the cryptocurrency market just like gold, just like the fiat, then that's going to be a very positive sign. So we'll see what the year on has in store. But as of right now, all right, so I called for 8,800, right? And we hit the 8,800 zone, and then I said the only thing that can be bullish is if we break out of the 9,200. We have now failed to do that. However, the question is, do we just create a pullback to build the energy that's necessary in order to break out of this line? So instead of 9,200, we're probably only looking about maybe 9,000, 9,100. Like I've said in all my prior videos, you can't get hung up on the numbers because the numbers are always going to change as we move into time and space. Time and space is to the right. So anyways, we can see that we broke the uptrend line. Now this is a very, very steep uptrend line. Very steep uptrend line. Anytime you see price go this vertical, right? We've seen it. We saw it in the 6,000 run where price went this vertical, and then look what it had to do. It had to consolidate, and that's fine. The second time, the second wave up, the same thing. Look what it had to do. Instead of consolidating, right? We had a break under, and then it kind of retraced. If I fix this correctly, this is essentially what happened. We crawled up the backside of it and then rolled over pretty significantly. So those are the two options that price has at these levels when this occurs. It's either going to consolidate. It may push a little bit higher to the backside, but if it does that, that's going to be a negative sign. This is just everybody, you know, crayon drawers can put these lines out, but this is just the basics of price action. I mean, it works. Like, you put the line out, and it's funny how price just sticks to it. It's because there's a lot of other people looking at these lines. So this is just a basic line, but the point is that if we crawl the backside of this line, that's a negative sign. That means something bigger is happening, and it's going to be a negative consequence as well. So if we fall out of this line gets negated, and we will create a new line set. Now, whether that line is higher or lower is yet to be determined. So what I would like to see in the price action now is I would like to see price probably retrace somewhere maybe in the mid 8,000 range. From there, build up the energy necessary in order to actually break out of the negative downtrend. Now, when it breaks out of the negative downtrend, hopefully there is a little recovery like that and a springboard and a push out. The question is, though, do we take out the high of 8,900? All right, so those are the numbers to look for. Do we break the 9,000, roughly, like, let's just call it 9,000 right now, because that's about the in-between of where the possibility of price breaking through is. If we break that, do we muster up the strength in order to break out of the 9,800 zone? If we do that, it's going to be wide open all the way back to 11,700. All right, so that's quite a big run from this area with this steep of a range on this tiny little base. So if you remember in my previous videos, I talked about kind of like a bodybuilder, a really big bodybuilder with super small legs. Like, it just like you just push them right over, and that's kind of what this chart looks like with this run right here. Now, the price did it off the 6,000 range, but obviously you can see what ultimately happened to the market based on that. So I'd like to see some more structure to build a long-term base that's going to support this market. Okay. Anyways, so if we continue to fall down, though, if we continue to fall down and there's no recovery and we never capture and break through this 9,000 mark, then we are going to head back down to at least 7.5. Now, if we do that, I can pretty much tell you there's a high possibility we will fall below that blue line, the 7.5, and then we're talking about going significantly lower. So that's the worst case scenario that you have based on my analysis, based on price action. Unfortunately, we are still within a negative downtrend, okay? That's only going to change when this line is broken and price stays and trades above that line. That's it. Now, it does not guarantee that price is necessarily going to go up, because you can see exactly what happened here. Let me show you the old one. Let's just make it green. That way you can really see. Okay, so one thing I pointed out in my last videos, or one of my previous videos, is you can see the green line, right? Now, if I track this green line, like so, and I make this bright blue, you will see that the red line has actually increased. Let me bring it just a little bit higher. You can see the gap. You can see that the negative trend set, the red line set, is obviously more negative than the green line set. So that is negative in a sense of just a visual representation of what price is reacting to, price frequency. Okay, it means that sellers are dominating this market, which could be, like I've proposed in previous videos, big money churning their positions out. And how they do that is they create these thin runs, okay, and those thin runs get sold into, and they're called guppy rallies. That's what the big investors call them. They call them guppy rallies, and it's kind of a joke because it's the truth. The guppies come in, they try to gobble up everything, and then the whale just comes in and obviously eats them all. And that's done through a selling wave, and that's what we can see occurring here. So it doesn't mean that this is the end, right? They could just be churning their positions out. This could be people that have very big positions that want some money, want some liquidity, and want to do whatever they want with their money, right? This does not mean anything like a nail in the coffin. If we broke through 6,000, right, we take out that low, then that is a big red flag that the money that is in this market is definitely churning themselves out, and we are going to head significantly lower. All right, if that happens, that's the worst case scenario. But anyways, I don't want to diverge on that. I just wanted to talk about just the overall price structure. So as we break out of here, what really needs to happen as we break out through the 9,000, right? I'm going to talk more longer term picture because we're on a 4-hour chart. We would need to start to break up to the 11,700 zone and break above these two highs. That would basically put a certification on this market that the trend has definitely changed and we are now entering into a bull market. And then people can start to come up with all the pie in the sky figures, 25, 50,000. I think I saw another one that was like, I don't even know what it was, like 900,000 or something crazy that I saw. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that the only way we're going to guarantee that the market is turning around is if we take out this area. And that's about 11,786, I think, is the absolute top on the Binance exchange. Okay, so that's long-term picture, and that's what I've been calling for. You know, if you've been following me for a long time, that's what I've called for in this market, is a higher low that would give a subtle slope for price to build the structure on that would ultimately lead to this market going significantly higher, eventually breaking the 11,700 zone, and then eventually moving all the way up to the 20,000 range and possibly even beyond. Okay, so it's completely possible. It is definitely possible, but we have to build the structure. If we start doing it on little thin runs like we've been doing it, right, and we do these thin runs and they keep getting sold, and they're just thin runs and they keep getting sold, and thin runs and they keep getting sold, this market is going to continue to tank and tank and tank and tank and tank, and then it becomes the hope that big investors come in and save the day. Okay, so that's just the overall picture. Hopefully everybody found this informative. I gave everybody the figures that I'm looking for that I'm watching. Let me zoom back in right here. So I gave everybody the figures that I'm watching. You can literally remark your charts up with this if you want to, but that's what I'm looking for. And we'll see how price plays out right now. Okay, I'm going to do my videos in the evening because I've noticed that even when I was doing 2 videos a day, a lot of it just overlaps and a lot of it's kind of redundant, and it's really hard with my schedule because I do have subscribers that pay like for entry points and so forth, and I give them like intraday updates and so forth. But you know, there's just I'm doing a lot of stuff for just like one man, so I'm trying to manage it all. I'm trying to figure out the best way to, you know, deliver this content, especially the free content. I want the free content to be as good as anybody's paid content, or, you know, whatever. But so I'm just going to reduce it for right now to 1 video a day, and then if I have like free time, like if my schedule opens up and the mornings aren't so crazy, I'll start going back to like the 2 videos a day. But I just need to kind of scale back just a little bit, and then that way I can kind of schedule everything out, plan everything, and then that way the content, I don't want it to be so redundant. I just want give everybody the price figures that they need, and then you can do your own analysis, you know, whatever, and then you can use this information just to help you. So this, I try to keep it very broad. I try to talk about the bigger picture of the market, okay, and I try to give both sides of the story. I don't care to be right, okay, that's not my objective. My objective is just to help people understand what is happening in the price action, and all price action is, again, is the buying and sell, is the energy between buyers and sellers, and that's exactly what these charts depict. That's what bars depict, candles depict. If you want to use lines, it depicts that. That's exactly what it is. At the end of the day, it's literally that simple. Reading it is not as simple, but anyways, but that's, you know, that's it. So we'll see what happens with the market. I just want to give everybody that update. I would highly suggest following me on Twitter. And the Twitter is, the handle will just be in the link description. If you want to contact me, you have like my YouTube page and other places as well. You have the About section. You can contact me if you want to send me an email. My email is geometriccharts@gmail.com. You can just ask me questions, or if you're interested in a service or whatever, you can always just contact me there, or just find me on the various social media platforms too. But other than that, I hope everybody has a great day. I will talk to everybody tomorrow. And, again, if you do like the content, please like, subscribe, follow. I definitely enjoy your support. I'm appreciative of your support, your likes, your following, the comments that everybody writes. I know I can't get back to everybody, but I do appreciate it. Sometimes I try to skim through it as fast as I can during the day, so don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm literally like a chicken with my head cut off some days because I'm literally that busy trying to juggle this, my subscribers, and my business. So I'm trying to get a good schedule here. So, but anyways, thank you, and I hope you have a great night or a great day depending on where you are in the world, and I will talk to you tomorrow.